Let sleeping dogs lie to grow and supersize your business. This expression, it kind of irritates me because I lived by it for decades, which I almost hate to admit, but I totally did. Like I think a lot of the population and a lot of human beings do. What the heck does it mean and where did it come from? The expression let sleeping dogs lie means to not poke the bear, not stir anything up, not stir up trouble, not do anything or say anything to make someone angry unnecessarily, right? By stirring up trouble or changing things, it says to me. Actually, it's been around since the 1200s. And Geoffrey Chaucer, in one of his books in 1374, actually used the expression about sleeping dogs and letting sleeping dogs lie. Meaning, if you wake a dog up, you never know what you're going to get. You might get a dog that attacks you because you might startle it or surprise it, or you might get a loving, kind dog. But we always seem to be afraid of, and that's why this expression concerns me, is it assumes bad things are going to happen. It assumes something negative is going to happen. And we never want to assume something negative is going to happen just because we create change or we incorporate different ideas or new ways of thinking. Now, how often have you, I know I'm guilty of this, stayed in a job or a relationship or in a home or in a vehicle or whatever longer than you knew you should have because you were just afraid to change? You didn't know, the devil we know is so much more comfortable and easier to deal with than the unknown, what might happen if we make a change. I think that this expression encourages procrastination. I think it encourages the status quo. It keeps us stuck. And this is, of course, me assuming that we're stuck. If we're not changing and growing, that we're stuck, which is a pretty good assumption. But if we're not changing and growing, if we're just trying to maintain the status quo, guess what? We're not, because everything else around us is changing, so we're deteriorating. So especially in our businesses, this is a scary philosophy or a scary human behavior to adopt in our organizations, because our organizations have to be living, breathing things that are ever changing and ever growing and ever moving toward what it is that we want. Expanding, right? We want to always be expanding and growing and making things better in our organizations and for the people that we serve. So we can't make our decisions based out of, oh, what if, what might happen, what could possibly happen that's bad. It doesn't mean don't be cognizant of that, don't be aware of that, don't take that into consideration and have contingencies in your mind or in your plans for if something bad does happen. It just means move forward anyway, keep going anyway, move in the direction that you want to take your business, move to help more people, move to help the people that you're here to serve, and do it out of courage, not out of, oh my God, if I change something, something bad might happen. Reminds me of the movie Back to the Future. The father in Back to the Future would never do anything or never take a risk because he was so afraid that something might happen. And we can't live our lives based out of the fear of the unknown, because we thrive on uncertainty and the unknown. We thrive on changing and growing and making the world a better place. And so to me, wake those dogs up. No more sleeping dogs. And assume that they're going to wake up loving and kind and happy and that good things are going to happen to you, and then they will. So I would prefer asking and using the philosophy that it's better to ask forgiveness than permission, because that philosophy, instead of letting sleeping dogs lie and staying with the status quo, encourages us to move and take action and disrupt industries and disrupt our own way of thinking and our own way of being and our own way of behaving to continuously grow and move us in the direction that we want to go for both our businesses and our personal lives and ourselves, and just kind of the betterment of the entire world, right? So today, I want to challenge you to not let a sleeping dog lie. Find something in your life that you've just been kind of going with the flow of. My example is, I've been in this house for way too many years, and I am fixing it up and moving, and I am absolutely taking massive action toward that. I actually cheated and started a little bit yesterday, but I'm definitely moving full force ahead and in that direction. And that's something, it's one of those things that I have just let sleeping dogs lie. It was a project I didn't want to deal with on a personal level for a lot of different reasons, and I've just let it go and let it go and let it go, and I'm like, oh my God, change is good. It's time for a change. So look for something like that in your business, especially, and in your life, and say, this is the status quo. This is what we've been doing. Is this good enough for us? Is this good enough for the people we serve? And if it's not, take a step in the direction that you want it to go. That's it. Just one little step, and see how much better that makes you feel. Well, make it an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Take care.